Hello everyone and welcome to Super Rugby Unfair Sports for today's round 5 team of the week of the Super Rugby Unlocked competition. 3 games, some big results. Stormers really putting their hands up. Sharks Cheese is pretty sloppy. Sharks getting the win there, and then the Bulls edging the Lions in a very good game, very tight game. Pretty much test match rugby really, with both sides having their chances to take the game. And it was ultimately decided by a 50-50 pass, which was pounced upon by Stedman Hans, but it wasn't like it was a normal intercept. It was an athletic effort to get down low, pick it off the ground, and dive over, literally. And that was literally the entire game. That sort of summed up the difference between them. So it was really a good watch. And so before I get into the team itself, please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner there, smash a like as well, jump in the comments, let me know what you think of the team, what changes you would make. So without any further ado, let's take a look at what we have. Right, now starting up front, I've gone with the Lions front row, and I'll tell you why. I think Oxenchair was probably the best loose head in the open play this weekend and was very industrious. But the Bulls, as any Jake White side will do, and he's very open about the fact that he wants the biggest side at all times, the Bulls arrived at Ellis Park to, as Rusty Rasmus very eloquently put it in Chase in the Sun, F them up physically. That's what the Bulls arrived to do. They arrived with a massive pack. Likes of Wallsteenkamp, the biggest lock in the competition. He was strength to starting out. They arrived with a big pack to try and bully the Lions. And that front row stood up from the very first scrum and said, no, you will not come here and bully us on our home turf. They were immense scrum time. I couldn't believe that first scrum and the scrum dominance they had. And it comes down to that front row who were just tremendous. I thought Jakob Asaki and Carly Sadi were much better in open play than Steve Tole, but he was very good at scrum time. And I mean, he was up against Trevor Nyakane, so arguably soon to be the number one block tight end in the country, and Steve Tole just stood up and said, that's fine, I don't care who you are, I'm going to scrum you over. And they were very good. So that's why I've gone with that front row. And then for locks, a bit of a disappointing weekend for locks. If you look at them, not too many industrial performances, in which case Jason Jenkins and Marvin Orie are the obvious picks. They were very good against each other. They just put in the sort of standard lock performance. I think Marvin Orie made 10 tackles, didn't miss one. Jason Jenkins worked very hard. He carried the ball up tirelessly. He was good in defense. And they were both pretty solid at line-out. There were a couple of the lines were fairly solid between the Lions and the Bulls. Look, there were a couple of pivotal ones where they kind of messed up, and sometimes try to make it too complicated, which seems to be a recurring problem across South African rugby. And we saw that the Sharks went against the Pumas, tried to keep it very simple, just kept sending up the two ball, going up, down, and trying to maul over. In terms of the loose trio, quite a difficult one to pick. I thought Marco van Staden was pretty good. But I've gone with Andisa Nsila because he was just absolutely everywhere for the Cheetahs. He made 10 tackles, the most on the team, along with Lund Bray. Was good at the breakdown, and just he really is a player that plays with his heart in the sleeve. As his captain, Junior Pokamela, who for me just edges out the likes of Nizam Carr and Henko Fenter. I just thought Pokamela in a Cheetah side which was pretty poor, discipline wasn't quite there. They didn't look like they'd really arrived. He really did try and stand up in the front, and a couple of runs and a couple of tackles where you could see he was just trying to sort of motivate his team by simply putting in the performance himself, and that is the mark of a great captain. I thought he was particularly good. I thought he's playing very nice rugby at the moment, and as usual in South Africa, we are just so blessed when it comes to loose forward. John Augustus at the 8th man, finally the performance that we've been waiting to see from him. I'm a big John Augustus fan. He's so big. I think we all know. We've all sort of been sitting here waiting and knowing he will play for the Springboks. He's a physical beast, and he was so much better on Saturday than we've seen him. Decision making let him down the pass, but he was everywhere on Saturday. He was running it up. He was good in the defense. He was, strong with the ball in hand. He was very impressive, and a much better performance for somebody who, in theory, is supposed to be taking over from Dwayne Vermeulen for the next 8 years. 2 World Cups in there. So a big performance from him. Scrum halves, Nella Humber was good, but I've gone with Paul de Vet. I thought he was electric, given the chance to start in the absence of Herschel Yankees. He was everywhere. Good feed from the ruck. And the Storm. I mean, the Storm is they just ran the Griquas off the park. They spread it out wide quickly. They were tireless, and a lot of that came to Paul de Vet, who was very good at getting around the park and making sure that there was front football all the time. Curran Bosch, another man of the match performance for him, just growing very good. It's the boot of his that just makes such a big difference. He's fast. He can get the back line going. He's got a fantastic boot. Does have a lot of work to do on his defense. We know this, but it tends to come with players like that. Your Alton Yankees, your Curran Bosches. I mean, even in New Zealand, they've had issues with that, where some of the smaller sort of flair players, especially at fly half, sometimes struggle in the defense. But it is something that can be learned. Cheslin Colby's defense has come a long way since he first broke through, and it's a lot. It's an attitude thing, and just sort of learning how to use your body effectively. But yeah, but he was particularly impressive. Angelo Davis didn't do much on the defense. Was electric on attack. There's a lot of pace, a lot of awareness, a lot of skill, which comes with being a sevens player. And then I've got Marius Lowe at inside centre. Rickus Pretorius was fantastic on the attack. Didn't do pretty much anything wrong. Him and Dan du Plessis were very, very good. Rickus Pretorius got a nice offload game. Very aware. But the reason I got Marius Lowe is because I thought he was quite industrious and I thought he was much better on defence. And Rickus Pretorius missed the two tackles he was asked to make, which is pretty poor. Especially for an inside centre where as in centres you are so important in terms of the defence. And I thought, and for that case, I'm going to go with Marius Lowe. I want to see the Similani as the outside centre of the week. And at the end of the day, if the Lions want to do well, they need to get as much of the ball to Similani as possible. Had almost no opportunity, and then Cornelius Kassan makes a decent break, gives it to one Steve Similani with so much to do. All that was, when he first got the ball, I think you'd be saying, well, take it over the advantage line, recycle it. No, he takes on and beats 4 players and jumps over the line. And he only had the ball about 3 times, but every single time he gets the ball, he just looks like something's going to happen, and something usually does happen. And I thought it was a very quiet game until that moment, but whenever he did have the opportunity, he really did look very good. Travis Ishmael was brilliant for the Bulls. He dominated in the air. He was fantastic aerially. He just out-jumped and out-muscled the lines a lot. He's a big wing. He runs very hard. Good in defense, and I thought he was just particularly good. We haven't seen a game like that from him for a while. Warwick Callant masterclass for me. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We talk about how we're going to replace Billy LaRue. Well, if Warwick Callant plays like he did on the weekend, you got your replacement sorted. He did everything right. He was very good as a second receiver. It brings so much. He brings a whole new dimension to that Stormers backline. His decision making, his distribution, he's exciting. He hits gaps. He's quick. He's got a fantastic boot. He can just, on his day, he can be one of the best fullbacks in the world. He's got so much talent there. And I think that if the Stormers can get it right and the Springboks can then get it right, you've got a really, really good fullback in Warwick Callant, who could be, very, very effective, could be one of the best in the world, in my opinion. I've always been a massive Warwick Callant fan. I've always thought that he was kind of underperforming a bit of the Bulls and struggling to get going. And I always wanted him at the Lions, to be honest, because I just thought he was such a talented player. And this weekend he showed that, and he was a big part, a big catalyst, really, of the Stormers going on and putting in the performance they did. So that's my team. Let me know what you think in the comments there. Please also do smash like. Please think about subscribing. Almost hitting 200 subscribers. So really thanks to everybody showing their support. Please do continue to support the channel. Another weekend coming up. We're going to do 5 things learned tomorrow, as well as start doing the previews of the matches. Keep it locked on Forever Sports. Thank you very much. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you very soon.